Hi, good morning. It's Monday, so it's a Monday Live. And today we are going to start with a series of training sessions that will have a common point, and this is link building. Well, if I ask myself, if I ask 99% of the people, if I would like to actually spend time creating links to my site, the answer would be no. I'd rather do anything else. Just because doing it on purpose, it is something more that we have to do, one more core, and well, we have enough. We are business owners, we have our businesses to run, and already we have to blog because somebody says we have to blog and create new content. Somebody often is me, and not just me. I mean, we know that we have to create new content, and we have to take care of all the things that are connected to our business management. And now we also have to create links. Oh no. Actually, if we ask ourselves, do we have to create links to our site? The answers can be different. And today in this session, we will try to understand if we have to and how to get started. Well, we know that links are necessary for ranking. High quality, good links. And later I will let you know how to determine how your rankings are, to understand if you need link building or not. First of all, you can think of types of websites which exist as belonging to three main types, which are new site, so an unestablished site, an established site, and we will see now what this means, and a big brand. If your site is new or unestablished, what does this mean? This means that there is a score, there is a number, which is called domain authority. Now, this is a kind of score, a kind of value, which has been discussed a lot. Because some years ago, now I think it's more than 4 years ago, because time is passing so fast. Well, some years ago already, an SEO company, software company, which is called Moz, M-O-Z, created a value to see numerically how easy it can be to rank a website. Because any search engine optimization specialist like me can tell that not all sites are created equal. And I am an SEO specialist who specializes, who works with small business owners, and most of small business owners fall into the first type, the unestablished websites, unless you have been doing something to get out of this type. What is this domain authority value about? Well, it is basically to see a numeric value, a number, explaining what we always knew, that you don't get to rank all the websites in the same way. Some websites are terribly difficult to rank, and you really have to spend months of blood and tears to try and rank them well on Google. Some others just happen much, much easier. And well, we know which are the factors which affect ranking on Google. We know that when the search engines need to create a preference for ranking websites better than others, they have to look at some particular criterion, which are the best possible kind of user experience, which even includes loading very fast, which even includes being a secure websites, flawless mobile performance. We know that definitely the site must be relevant to what the search intent is. So there must be a relevance in the content. So there must exist a content. It must be informative. It must be, once again, an amazing user experience. So it must be really helpful and enjoyable, and people just feel like sharing it and linking it. So we are talking about having this content matching the query, so those keywords that the people are searching for must be there. The site must be about that. It mustn't be something spammy and useless and waste of time, otherwise people bounce away. All those things that we know. But we also know that the kind of endorsements that the third-party websites give to your website, so the number of incoming links that your site has got, have a relevance. They play an important role in making the difference between your site and a competitor. And in the end, what comes out of SEO is that ranking sites is a matter of competition. So you need to be better than others to outrank them, rank better than them, to get positions they don't have, to gain upper positions and get them lower than you. So it's a matter of being better than your competitors. In Moz, they measured this value with a numeric value. So they try to take a number to tell how easy or how hard it is to rank a site. They took in consideration something like 40 parameters, but mainly what matters is the number of incoming links that your site can have. This metric is a public number. You can check it online, you can check domain authority checker, and you can check it. I can let you know this in free. You can send me an email or a text, whatever, and I can let you know this if you want to check and to get to know if you have to work on your link building. What I always say about SEO is that it is a triangle. And it's made by the famous three sides, which are the content that needs to be relevant, it needs to be amazing, it needs to be optimized, but it's not just that. So if somebody says, I do SEO and I put on your website Yoast and all the dots will be green, well, that's not SEO, that's content optimization. Because SEO is a triangle, so that's one side, and you don't make a website, a triangle with one side. You need three sides. And the other two sides are the content of the site, the architecture of the site, the actual code. It must be perfectly crawlable, and there must be no errors. It must be as smooth as possible, not to take you away from ranking. And there are some types of optimization that need to be done in the code to make sure that the website can rank better than your competitors. And the last side is the backlinks. So you will have to make sure that you have enough links pointing to your site. So if you check or if you get somebody to check your domain authority, you will sometimes hear this metric being called the site authority. If you hear about page authority, then it's not just about the domain. The domain is the entire website. The page authority is the authority of that specific page. And we will get to talk about this as well, because it's not just a matter of getting links to a website, because generally the links get to the home page. Instead, if you want a page specifically to rank better for some keywords which are particularly tough and your competition is extreme and they are ruthless and you want to rank them, you need links to that specific page. And we will talk about this as well. Even because this is just the first session and we are going to take this matter in depth. So to talk about this a little bit more in time. So once you find out this domain authority is a value which goes from 1 to 100. 1 is, well, 100 is the best and 1 is the worst. So the higher, the better. The higher the domain authority of a website, the higher it can be ranking in the web, in the search engines, and the easier it is to rank it. One of the reasons why this metric has been longly discussed, spoken about, is that Google insists that they do not use it. Well, we know that it is the endorsement and the form of getting links from other sites to yours is something that does matter and will get you to rank better than others. So no matter if Google declares they don't use it, we need to have websites, good, high quality backlinks pointing to your site. That is something that out of discussion, because that's been tested so many times now. That's out of discussion, that's for sure. So if you realize that your domain authority is not so high, I mean low values, and don't get disappointed if this happens, because most of the websites of small business owners fall into this category. So you can already imagine that you're going to be in the first category, in the unestablished category, if your website is new, it's just been launched, or has been launched since a small amount of time. Also, you need to consider that Google needs to consider a website existing for some time to give it some real trust. Also, because websites have been built just for creating fake links for such a long time to try and exploit this, that now they want to see the website is existing for some time to give you some real reliability. And also it will be in this category if you never worked actually on this, if you haven't been paying any attention on the matter, if your site has got any links or not. And that's normal. It's not just you. I mean, that's what that's the learning curve of all the business owners, small business owners, as far as I've seen. And I've been doing this job for 7 years now. They start creating a website often for free with tools like Wix, Weebly, and Squarespace. Small site builders, they just pay a fee to build a site on their own. And they are so full of passion for their business that they want to have a website to be written on their business cards and to have an business email pointing to, and to show people their websites as if it was a business card. And they think that if you build it, they will come, like the movie, and they will be found. They think they will be found organically, spontaneously, just because they have a site. That does not happen because now the competition is extreme. So you can't be found unless you really work on it, or you're trying to work on a not competitive niche, but 99% of niches now are competitive. I mean, there is business competitors for any kind of job. So if others are working on their SEO, and now nearly anybody is, because they have understood that's the only way to be found, and you're not, you won't be found. And they realize, business owners generally realize this after a few years. Once they see that they are not getting any business opportunities from their site, they're getting business opportunities by networking and trying to promote their business at events, some kind of expositions, exhibitions, but not by their site. Nobody's finding them from Google, and then they realize they should be working on their SEO. At that point, you can be sure that your site is an unestablished one because you have never been working on creating links to your site. So either if it's new, or that if you have never, or if you have never worked on it for a purpose because you wanted to, then you can know that's the first type. Instead, the second type, the established site, is generally a site which is existing for some time, and the business owners generally have been building up their authority over time. So these are sites, even if you're not been doing something on purpose on it, these are sites which have been existing for many years. And links have started to come spontaneously. I mean, people have been linking to you, and you've been piling up those links over the years. So this means that your business is not new, and you have your site is not new, it's known. Possibly you've been blogging a lot. Possibly you've been creating content because you knew that you had a newsletter to send, so you've been creating some content, and maybe you like to write, so you've been writing, and now you have this wealth of content, which I'm really, really happy about, because that's the way you've been creating yourself an authority, a small authority which can grow, but it is your second position in these categories. The last one, the big brands, well, they just get links by doing nothing. I mean, they're so popular that people are linking to them any second, and they don't really have to worry too much, but there is a but for all of these things. They have to worry a little bit too, because the type of approach link building is different according to those three types of websites. I mean, an unestablished website, a small business website which is just beginning to face this kind of challenges, they generally have limited resources, because most of these kind of business owners are one-man band. They are solopreneurs, freelancers, and they are alone trying to deal with all of this amount of things to do. They might have an SEO assistant, but they don't have any link. They don't have the budget for having a link building team or a PR agency taking care of creating this. This can be a challenge, but also a benefit. You know why? Because if you are generally the second type of the websites, they can, business owners, they cannot start to afford somebody taking care of creating links to them. But what happens, and this is something that you as a small business owner will not have this kind of issue, is that if you outsource this kind of process, yes, you're not spending time on it, but you will not be owning the process or the relationships. And creating links in most cases, especially in the beginning, it's a matter of creating relationships with others, especially if you are aiming to get good quality links, real connections. Links that can become the beginning of a partnership, links that can become the real connection between two businesses. This is something that you can do as a business owner because you know the other business owners you work with, you network with, you are mostly connected with. Instead, if you outsource it, they will create links for you. You're paying something and they will create a number of links according to how much you pay, and that will be the type of links they create. It's less of a hassle for you, but you do not own any kind of relationships. They're linking to somebody they know that can accept those links, and it is different. And sometimes it's not as good in Google's consideration as if you do it naturally. Instead, if you're a big brand, well, you can relax because you don't have to worry so much, but everything has got a little flow, because the links that naturally flow to a big business website, big brand website, are generally to the homepage. And when we were talking about page authority, just to get links to your homepage will not help you so much. You might have some product pages, some service pages that you want to rank for, that you want to be found better than others. Then in this case, you should try and do your best to get links to those pages. And this is what the big brand websites try to do with their big brand in-house link building teams. They get links to the specific pages that they want, because just to get links to their homepage does not help to be found. Even if for a big brand, there's not as high need to be found organically. But anyway, if you want to be ranking for a specific page, you have to be creating links to that one. So now that we understand how websites are different one from each other from a link perspective, or at least now that you have understood how your website is, you know the answer to the first question: do I need to do link building? If you're in the first type, then it's definitely a yes. And you will know that you have to dedicate more time to do this than the second type of already established businesses. But it is a kind of effort that you shouldn't be bulking all together. It's just something that should be going naturally as your business flows. As the time comes, as you get new contacts, as you get to know new people, you should always keep in mind, how can I get a link to my site? As soon as you develop relationships, as soon as your business goes on, you should always think of this, because the more you get connections, the more your business will be benefiting from all the perspective. And well, there are some ways of identifying links which will not appear unnatural. So all the tips I will do are how to create good quality links which are not going to get penalized. Because we've been talking about Google penalties, and I will link the article to this training session. Now, there is an article I made which was summarizing a little bit of the most famous Google penalties, and you can check it not just for historical value, but because they are still valid. I mean, you still can get penalized if you do this kind of stuff, which you should never do. And well, creating the wrong type of link building is one of the easiest way to get penalized. And once you get penalized, then the process for reconsideration is long and painful, and it might cost a lot of money to your business because even of all the missed opportunities that you will get by just disappearing from the search engine results pages. So make sure that you are making a good quality, a natural kind of link building. And we will talk about this in depth over the next weeks and the next sessions. I will create articles on my site, and you can check. There's already one, I can link this. Just to give you an idea, the article I created was about outreach. Outreach is the most common, the most frequently used type of link building campaign. I mean, generally people look for a relevant site with a high domain authority, and because if you get a link from a high domain authority, in some cases it can help you better than a lower one. In some cases, there are some myths around link building, because if you get some real high quality backlinks from companies you are working with, they can really refer you to some users, and users really will be navigating your site. Google can check this, can verify this, and you will definitely be benefiting from it, even if the site was linking you has a low domain authority. So you shouldn't just be refusing the backlink from a networking company, from a company you have been networking with, you have some contact with, just because they have a low quality, a low domain authority website. Don't do it, because it can be the beginning of a splendid kind of cooperation. Instead, you should refuse it if you find out that you have links, and if you don't know it, I can check it for you. You can verify which your links are, checking your Google Search Console. And if there are some links you do not recognize, which sound suspicious, which you don't remember you created, you don't know who they are, check the link. In any case, check the links, because sometimes they might link to you presenting some old and not updated information, and just getting in touch again with somebody who linked to you can be a nice way for refreshing a business contact and reminding them about you, and trying to create new ways of working together and getting them to display updated information. For example, they might still have a link to your site stating that your business location is somewhere else because you moved somewhere else. So you should be checking your links. And if you see that some of those links, you don't recognize them, we can ask Google to take them away from you, not to consider those links, particularly if they are some bad links, which means they come from low authority, from low quality websites, websites which contain spam, videos, or bad content that you don't want to be associated with. In those cases, there is a procedure that can be done and should be done, because those kind of links can be dangerous. If you realize, if you verify that your website is having some links of that kind, you should definitely ask Google to not to consider those links to you. I can help you with this kind of procedure, and it is something that needs to be done in the right way, because some of these things can create issues for your website, and you can get some problems if you don't do it correctly. It's called disavowing. It's called disavowing backlinks. There is a tool in your Google Search Console, but you will also notice that there are a lot of warnings to make sure that you use it in the right way. Because if the PageRank and the domain authority is Google's opinion of the importance of your page based on the incoming links that come to your site, the opinion can be a bad opinion. And you definitely don't want Google to have a bad opinion of your site, because you know that the consequences can be extremely dangerous and quite harmful to your business. So this is if you have to disavow links. In these cases, I suggest you to get help by a professional assistant. It can be me or any kind of SEO consultant, but it is a little bit something you have to pay attention to. Otherwise, if you realize that not enough links are existing to your site, there are some things that you can do, and we will go through them in the next sessions. Now, today I would just like to mention not just the one which is in the article on my site, and it is about outreach, which is the most common way in which business owners can get links to their sites, and making link building outreach basically works like you check for a relevant site which has a high domain authority, if you want, or anyway a high domain site that you like and you would like to be linked from, and you just contact them. You just reach out, you send them a prospecting email asking them for a link, telling that you found out that they wrote this article, you liked it very much, and you think that they would benefit from linking to you, to this page of yours, because it can be of some assistance. So different from sending typical boring, I've received really 10 of these emails every day, and now it is really something disappointing, because it's just there is nobody thinking before doing that. It's just a repeated approach, and in the article I wrote, I'm explaining why it should be something you spend time actually doing it, because who receives it can feel it. I can feel if somebody spent time actually getting to know me and getting to know my site and getting to know why they would like to be linked by me. And when they ask for a link, it's not just a repeated email copy-pasted to everybody, because this kind of emails just go immediately into their trash folders. Instead, you can create something really of a value. I mean, if they're talking about some kind of sports event and you're selling tickets for them for that, or if you have some kind of special interview with somebody of that kind of sport niche, that is something that's thought you're thinking that can be useful for me and even for my prospective linker, for the site who's linking to me. So you can explain to them how this can benefit both of you. So it's not just something which is copy-pasted. And the second thing that I suggest you just to begin now, and we will go through it with time over the next weeks, is to start tracking your mentions. This is something that I can do for you. I do it for all of my clients, but you can do it on your own if you want to learn how to do stuff on your own. Tracking your mentions is something that every business owner should do, because how can you know if somebody has been writing something and have been publishing some content in the internet, writing about you and your business, and they don't let you know if you don't track mentions. So there are some tools. The free one that you can use is Google Alerts. You create an alert, you just search Google Alerts. You create an alert with your business name, your personal name, your product name, if you have a unique, specific branded product name, your brand names. And you start tracking the results. You will get email notifications with a frequency that you decide. Every time there is somebody who is creating content in internet and posting something about you, and you can check. It is an important tool of business reputation management, because you have to check what people are saying about your business. Are they saying good things? Are they saying bad things? Why? How can I improve my service? How can I answer and create some kind of customer support? How can I develop some kind of customer relationship with somebody? Sometimes from a bad review can come out some amazing opportunities for business development and some very nice business contacts. So don't be too scared of bad reviews. I mean, if you exist, it's much more likely not to have all the best kind of reviews, but sometimes there are misunderstandings, especially if you're, for example, in the hospitality niche. There are so many situations in which things can go wrong, not because of you, sometimes not even because of the client, or sometimes because of the client, because some of them just claim. But you can deal with all of these things, and the way you deal with them really, really makes a difference. But when you track those mentions, you can see if they link to your site. And this is the tip that I would like you to consider from the link building perspective, because you can see if they're just talking about you and they're not giving you a link. If, for example, somebody says, I tried this product and I like it, or I went to this place and I had an amazing day. Well, do contact them and tell them, wow, thank you, I'm so happy that you wrote this about me. Could you please add a link to my business in that article of you, in that article of yours? 99% of the times people will say yes, of course, and you've created once again a nice kind of dialogue with other people, which is what businesses are about dialoguing and creating connections. So I think this is it. 2 small tips to start creating links. Outreach, we will talk a lot about this more, and you can find the article. And start tracking mentions and check your domain authority. Just even if the metric is a little bit discussed, it is important to know which is your starting point. So if you're an established or big brand, if you're a big brand, well, good for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it as much as I do, and see you next week. And please let me know if you like the article. Click like, share, and with any kind of business owner that you know that might need to get to understand a little bit more about how do I create links to my website. Do I need to create links, really? Yes. So, okay. Have a lovely day and see you next week.